YouTube, it's your boy Henry Pinkney, and I'm back with another tutorial. If you guys don't know me yet, I'm the owner of the Monarchs Lounge here in Ocala, Florida, based in Marion Oaks, Florida. And also I'm the owner of this channel, the Monarchs Lounge. And today we're gonna knock out one of the hardest things that barbers have to deal with in the shop, and that's scissor work. I can tell you 100% that I remember when I was in the barbershop that I used to turn down hundreds of dollars of clientele in a day or 2 days tops. Like, I used to turn down so much clientele that it was like I had to learn. I was like, look, this is money coming out of the door, but today I'm gonna make that easy for you. And the first easy step is we're gonna get our spray bottle and we're gonna go ahead and saturate the client's hair. We're gonna fully saturate it out, and we're gonna comb the hair out basically to where it lives. And when I mean where it lives, I mean when you see me combing out the client's hair, you see that it easily goes to the side. You see, I'm combing it to his sides, it easily falls down. So basically you're gonna be combing with the grain, okay? You're gonna be combing with the grain, and you're gonna fully saturate it. Don't be scared, guys. Wet this hair up. If it's dripping, it's okay. It's only water and it's just hair, okay? Once the hair is fully combed out and saturated, the next thing you're gonna do is find the dominant. We're gonna do the same thing on this side. We're gonna start with the growth pattern in the back, and we're gonna formulate our horseshoe circle pretty much. This section is forming a horseshoe circle. And once that is complete, you're gonna make sure you comb the hair over. You see how it's separated from the top? The reason why we're doing that is because we don't want to pretty much overthink the process. It's very easy. And right after that, you're gonna go ahead and start from right here in the middle of the ear where that section lives, and you're gonna go diagonal to where his recession is. And this is just gonna make sure that his fringe area where his style is a lot fuller, because you don't want to cut that out. You know, that's what that line is. That's what you call a proper disconnection, pretty much. And once it's section, you want to go ahead and get your styling portion, which is this middle area that I'm combing up. This is basically where the style lives. You're gonna comb that up into pretty much like a bun, and we're gonna clip that up, making sure it's nice and out of the way, because we don't want to cut any unnecessary hair, and we don't want to focus on any unnecessary hair, because the object is to reduce the amount of thinking possible so the haircut is basically foolproof. So I'm using the flattest part of the head, which is the middle portion right here, and I'm grabbing a section of hair and I'm pulling towards my chest, keeping that tension, and I'm cutting all the way to my second knuckle, because I don't want to overcut anything, and I want to be right there in front of every section. So we're gonna meet from top to bottom. So I'm gonna fast forward this up for you guys so you can see the drift. Right here, we're gonna start our second guideline, which is at the bottom. As you can see, it's the same thing as the top, but I have my knuckles rested on his head. As you see, I'm not pulling, because this is the bottom portion where the blend is gonna sit, okay? This is the part of the guideline where the fade meets the hair. Like I said, the same thing you do on the one side, you're gonna do on the other. You see how I'm keeping the knuckle on the head? You see that? So what's next is your sectioning. You're gonna section from the first part, the horseshoe part that you see up here. You're gonna section right here, and you're gonna split the hair, and you're gonna cut from point to point. So when you meet point to point, all you're gonna do is grab another section and make sure these sections follow all the way through until you can't have anything to cut anymore. And it's the same all the way around till you get to the middle of the back head. You're gonna draw another section Nice and slow. You want to take your time and make sure you're doing these sections correct, because they will show inconsistencies after the haircut. And you basically tackle those inconsistencies with feather razors or feather shears. In that diagonal section going along all the way to the end of the head. Once you get to the end, once you get to the back, you'll start meeting up with the other side, and then you start cross-checking pretty much. And also, as you see me pulling the hair, I'm only cutting from point to point, so I'm not getting that extra hair at the top, because that's not the point that I'm trying to get. I'm trying to create a shape here by following point to point, which creates the shape, because it's going with the shape is basically that section right there above my knuckle. We're going to skip through this part. Okay, last section in the back. This is the section I mean when you're like pretty much cross-checking both sides. You're going to do this to this side, and then you're going to repeat the same sectioning steps for the other side. You see how I grab that hair? You see? I'm making sure that I pull with tension. I'm pulling so that the hair stands up with the line of the section. And right in that area, I'm gonna pull towards me with so much tension, and I'm just gonna cut from point to point. You see? And that last point sits right on the bottom of where his taper would be at the back right there. You see? That last little, there's nothing else after that. You see? There's nothing else after that. So you're pretty much, now you're pretty much set. You see? Now when you comb the hair back, you'll see that it's smoother. You see? It goes back seamlessly. So now that you see that this part is nice and smooth, you're gonna work on the other side. And I'm just gonna fast forward that because you already know it's the same thing but just opposite. And honestly, if you guys like the scissor methods and you're having issues with scissor cuts, just drop something in the comment, let me know, and I'll make more of these videos, because honestly, like, to me, section hair is therapeutic, so I don't mind doing these videos for you guys. Okay, so right after that, we're gonna make a section from growth pattern to recession, which is your front growth pattern. And we're gonna split the hair. We're gonna layer it on to the sides, okay? Once we layer it on, we're gonna make sure we go ahead and soak that up with water, making our cuts nice and easy. Okay, so our next step will be to work on the sides. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and draw a section from the crown to the middle of the ear, and we're gonna push the front forward. Same thing on the other side. We're gonna draw a section from the crown to the middle of the ear, and we're gonna push forward the hair that we're not thinking about at the moment. And the next step is going to be, you're going to comb down your fringe area. The fringe area is the frame of the haircut. It's pretty much his bangs. That's what most people like to say. We're going to get his bangs and we're going to pull it all the way down, because we want to preserve the length of the hair, right? And we're gradually just going to cut up. So when we cut from the beginning, we're going to keep going back until we get to the ear, the middle of the ear, where we first put that section where we distributed that weight. And I'm just gonna fast forward the rest so that you could see the visual of what I was just describing. And once again, we're going to section here at our sides again, because we need to separate the front from the back so that we can cut our shape at the top. And for the back, we're going to work on a rounder square, and then in the front, we're going to work on a square. And the shapes is just basically the lines that I'm cutting. You see that I'm pulling, you see how I'm pulling it straight up. My first cut is going to be straight line right there. It's gonna be a fresh cut, and then I'm gonna take that same guideline, and then I'm gonna pull up the next, and then I'm gonna go not all the way up or all the way side, but like a square, like a round square. And we're pretty much gonna just do that all the way around, well, all the way back until we reach the crown. Once we get to the crown area, we're just gonna redirect up. All right, we're just gonna redirect up and keep that shape. Okay, you guys want to be consistent as possible to get consistent results. And so now we're just gonna grab our fringe area, and instead of cutting a blunt square, we're just gonna go up a little bit, and until you see like a peak, like a triangle peak, and we're just gonna cut that peak because you want to be able to have the hair split in the middle, giving that curtains bang look. That's what's gonna create that curtains look. And now we're gonna resection right above the ears, and we're gonna go ahead and cut that square foundation here all the way to the part where we just cut in the back. Once we meet that, then it's time to cut the front. And this one, you're just gonna do a square all the way out. So like that first initial cut, instead of going to the side like a round square, we're gonna go straight. So it's gonna be a horizontal cut all the way from here to the back. And at this point, I'm doing from recession to recession just to get our style part. Okay, this is what really makes the cut. This is the bang. So I'm just gonna hit it with a little texturing spray, and I'm just gonna run my blade across it, or my feather razor, and I'm just gonna glide across it as if I were doing a shave on skin. And I'm just gonna kind of fast forward this method for you guys so you can see a lot clearer. Now this cut from the eye might not look like much has gotten cut off or much was done, but I guarantee you the client feels different. I guarantee you he feels the weight gone, he looks different. This is something that these clients will definitely appreciate. And the next step is going to be putting some matte paste or some type of clay, and you're gonna put like a finger amount, and you're gonna make sure that you put it in the client's hair where he likes to basically style it. So this, my client likes to style it back, so we're just gonna put it in back, and then we're gonna kind of mix this product with a curl cream just to have curl control and a bit of moisture. And right after this, you're just gonna get your blow dryer, and you're gonna make sure that you don't blow dry the top as much. You kind of want that to self dry. You just want to focus on the sides and making sure that the hair lays how it's supposed to. And we're just gonna blow dry the sides until the style looks a little bit presentable. Like I said, we want that top to dry a little bit natural, so it'll have the flow, it'll have that moisture, and it can do what the curtain bangs are supposed to do. So we're basically just gonna blow until it's dry, and it'll be able to expose where we're gonna put our clippers, so then fading will be seamless. So now that you see the foundation is sitting on the fade, now you can see, I'm just gonna clip this out of the way so it's a little bit easier for me to fade a little bit. And you can see how the cut already sits on top of the fade. So now all we have to do is pretty much fade that side in and blend that parietal ridge out. So we're gonna do tapers today, so I'm just gonna fast forward everything because you already pretty much know my fading process. You can also use this comb like this to stop the clipper from going any further into the hair, so it'll stop at that bulk area, and then you can use a feather comb or shear to pretty much get out that weight. But I'm gonna fast forward to you guys because you already know my fading process is the same. Okay, so these are the areas that you're gonna hit with your clipper, your scissor over comb. These bulky areas is where the top meets the bottom. This area is where in the beginning we did our first guideline. Okay, this is why it's so important to know these systems, because now that I'm finished with the cut and the scissor cut and the fade, now we can see how this cut just came to life, and now we're just gonna use those bulky areas and get the scissors, and we're just gonna cut that out. Now at this point, it's just styling your hair, getting the client's hair right, making sure that everything is nice and solid, and pretty much this is a finished product right here, guys. So yes, this is the backwards flowing curtains bang cut. This is how it looks from the back. We're just making sure that we have our style nice and ready for him, so when he leaves the shop, he's conquering the day.